Hey guys, Chase here, Southern Sky Farm. Today is, I think it's like January the 18th or 19th, somewhere there. Shooting another video today. I got a little bit of cold, so I'm going to try to knock this out and not get out of breath. But, so this paddock right here is the paddock where we did have 20 pigs. We've already taken 10 of those to the processor, and now we have 10 left. The 10 will be going to the processor now in less than a month. I think it's 3 weeks away now. But I wanted to shoot a video and show y'all what this paddock looks like and excuse me, what the pigs did. So I'm kind of walking in a circle and end up down there where the pigs are. So all this right here obviously used to have some green growth on it and stuff, and the pigs really crushed it, stirred the ground up, and it looks really, really good. Now I haven't been back on this side in a while, but all this was just a clear cut. You can also see the pines coming up. We used to have pines here. Obviously we clear cut it, and now I think this is 3 years old, I think it is. And obviously the pines are probably 5 foot tall, 4 foot tall. And I'll kind of show you what they did closer to where they've been hanging out at, but we'll kind of walk down here and I'll walk through the middle of it. But over here, that's the stump pile. The pigs got up in there, shoved the stumps around. I wish they would have done a lot more work on that, but they didn't. I think that's just because it's further away from the water and the feed. But when we walk through the clear cut here, you can see that there's ground disturbance everywhere around the pine trees. And they really didn't leave anything untouched or untrampled or pooed on or any of that. They basically just left the pine trees, and in some areas they chewed off the pine trees. And I'll kind of go over and show you where that happened. But this is what it looks like when the pigs have been in here on this clear cut, getting in here, digging around, rooting around, scratching, biting off the pine trees. Like for example, here's 2 pine trees that they just bit off. And then they'll leave the pine laying on the ground just like that. You can see they came over here, they stirred up this, rooted this around, probably laid in it, scratched on those trees, kind of over there in that direction. And they just got in here and like did a really, really good job of getting everything stirred up, rooting it around, and trampling it down. Now when these pigs are gone, this will get rest in the springtime, and there won't be any pigs until, in this paddock, probably until this like fall. So we'll basically have the entire green up that there will be no pigs in here to be able to recover. Now I have had the wild idea of coming in here with a bush hog and bush hogging all the pines down and really restarting the growth. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, but if I do, I'll make sure I shoot a video. But that would basically restart the pine trees, because in reality this is going to be pasture one day. So I don't want to get really tall. We've got to deal with the trees again in 5 years when it's time to start clearing and stuff like that. But I'll keep walking through the clear cut and show you what it looks like. Over here I put what we're calling scruffy hay and straw for basically bedding. And this is what they did. We just dropped a couple square bales in here, or a little bit of loose hay that was laying on the ground, and they've been bedding in this, rooted around, get it chewed up, and then this is where they sleep at nighttime. Now we do have some guys coming over here. Hey, what are you doing, boy? So these are what our guys look like. And then this area over here, when we first started in this paddock, we basically worked the water all the way down here so we could easily fill it up. But we basically started over here at the top of the Ranger sitting, and we worked the water tub, that is, all the way down this line as we went through the summertime, and also now we're into wintertime. And that just allowed us to fill the water tub up easily. But you can see that kind of the areas that they spent a lot of time in because the water was here, they really rooted it up and tore it up. And then if you get behind me, this is what all this looks like. And that's where you have the feed buckets now. I only have one feeder, so I took the feeder out, put it with the newer pigs, and just finishing them out in a bucket. And you can see some guys around me. Hey! So then, of course, they have their water here that we've been filling up. We'll beat the ice out of it, fill up their water there, so they have fresh drinking water. And then over here is where we loaded out and separated the first 10. And that's why it's so beat down over here. Now, with that being said, this is what I want the pigs to do. I want them to tear it up. I want them to bite the trees off, because in reality, I don't want it to grow up. So when it does come time to clear, we can still see the stumps, and we can start clearing basically with this and short trees compared to having really big trees. So that, like, our goal is to have it tore up this long. That's why we're giving them a bigger space, so they have fresh ground on the backside, and they're up here the most. So this is why this is beat down. That's why we're giving them so much space and leaving them here longer and not moving them as fast. And then you come over here, this is where we're using the corral panels to be able to separate the pigs. And then of course we back the trailer up right here, load it out here, and that's why this area is beat down so bad, because we had the pigs we loaded out, they were in here, and they were in here for a couple days before we took them to the processor. And then we will do the same with these guys here in about 2 weeks, when it's going to be start time to load them out. We'll back a trailer up and then speed them on the trailer and start that process of easily being able to load them out to the processor. And then basically this paddock is probably the 3 acre size also. It's up there where the Ranger is, goes to that corner, goes along where those taller trees are to a corner kind of back there where the hardwood looking trees are, and then it ends up coming up this line and then coming back over here to the left. But you can see, like I was talking about, is they were just biting off the pine trees and then leaving the stalks and leaving the pines like this. They would eat some and stuff like that, but that's how they were just kind of biting it off and leaving it. Now I'm keep on walking through here, and this is kind of what it looks like now compared to when they first started in here. They've just kind of been out here rooting around and stuff. So they've done an absolute excellent job. I'm super happy with how this turned out, and we will have pigs in here again later on this year, but we'll have it recover, get the vegetation up, get all of these pigs poo gone with the nutrients, getting that into the soil, beetles and birds, getting all of their poo piles done up, so when the new pigs hit this fall, we will start over and it will be a fresh, clean paddock for the pigs. So that's going to be all for this video. I just kind of wanted to show y'all what it looked like after we had the 20 pigs in here for a couple months, and I couldn't be any happier with how they did. So that'll be all for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like our channel, subscribe below, shoot us a comment. Email will be in the description, and I'm going to try to get back on the train of getting some videos posted and showing y'all a pig and cow operation. So that'll be all for this video. Y'all have a wonderful day, guys. Thanks for watching.